So we'll wait for a second here to just let a couple people come on because we've got. There we go. Okay.
Hello.
Yes, welcome to All Girls Alliance. Sorry that we're a little bit late today, but well, like usual, this is about the normal time. All right, let me pull this up. Okay, say hi in the chat if you're here, guys. Yep, we've got a few people on. And tonight we have who we wish we had on Big Brother 22. From like, if we had to pull a woman from 19, right? Like, it should have been an obvious choice. And somehow we have Christmas.
That's the craziest thing. It should not have been Christmas. Like, what were they thinking?
They weren't.
Those drugs and that broken leg.
I don't know, but we have Dominique.
Yay!
Yay!
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
What's up?
We're so happy you're here. At this point, like, we're barely even watching the show. We talked about this last week. Like, we barely even feel qualified to be talking about Big Brother anymore, but we have all of these amazing guests lined up, so we have to just keep doing it because we want to hang out with you. So,
well, yeah, we can hang out and have fun for the next hour.
Yeah.
It's not like I have anything. Well, I have a lot to do, but socially, I don't have a lot to do over here in California. So,
yeah. Pandemic and all. But yeah. But no.
Here? No one's talking in the chat.
Well, it says we've got some people on. But yeah, we have I really thought we almost had like the perfect lineup. Like, I thought that, the last minute we might get like Tyler to flip the vote somehow because Tyler went home tonight.
Oh, he did. That's news.
Yeah. Yeah. He went home tonight, but like last night it was kind of looking like there was a potential for Christmas to go home. And like, how perfect would that have been?
That would have been perfect, actually.
If you were here for the eviction party.
To be honestly.
That would have been classic.
I mean, first of all, they're just so annoyed with her. As it like she's just so. Why am I frozen? She's just really.
You just muted yourself.
Sorry.
You're muted.
Sorry. I was an accident. Okay, so Christmas is really annoying.
We all knew. Dominique knew before all of us.
Yeah, I think everyone's really sick of her. Like, is she still on drugs? What was she like before drugs, after drugs? Was there a big difference?
I mean, obviously.
I don't know. So I because I have to be I'm always going to be brutally honest, and if I can't really say what I want to say, then what you guys will discover about me, if you haven't already discovered, is I won't say anything, but my facial expressions will communicate an entire novel. So with Christmas, like, I liked her initially. I mean, like, really good vibe or whatever. But the thing about being in the Big Brother house, everybody's cool the first week, right? Before the live cams are activated, right? Like, everybody's cool, everybody's vibing. But then, like, it really sets in because a week, in a sense, kind of sort of feels like a month. And so when you go into that second week, it feels like you've been in the house for a month and a half. And people start letting their hair down, like, for real. And so I was like, okay, well, maybe she's just like, uber confident. And I'm such an optimist. So I loved it. I'm like, okay, she's a complete badass. She is like ridiculously confident. She knows who she is and she knows what she wants. And then it really got hot. And when it got hot, I was like, oh, well, this is who you truly are. And I had a lot of different questions, post hospital visit Christmas, hospital visit Christmas. I was like, this is not the same person that left the house before I was just like a little confused. And then to see this Christmas on BB22, I mean, like, I just, again, I'm uber optimistic, and I'm going to say, go for it. You can do whatever your heart so desire, and everything that you need is already within you. You don't have to go and search for anything. It's already there. You got to dig deep inside. I'm all about that. But it becomes a bit extreme when a person is literally like pumping themselves up day after day, hour after hour, minute after minute. Like, I have to ask myself, like, what's truly missing? Because you're compensating for something. Mm-hmm. And a lot of that, in my opinion, although I don't watch the season, I watch it via Twitter, and I watch the clips, and I hear about her behavior and some of her conversations. And I'm like, girl, something's going on in there. Mm-hmm. Something's going on in there. And this is what we see happen with a lot of people who don't own who they are, right? Like, I struggled post Big Brother, and it was so, and I tell my boyfriend this all the time. I was like, you know, I know I'm talking too much, guys, but
no, it's okay. You're great.
Like, I was so confident. I was so confident in who I was or who I am. And no one can tell me anything. If you didn't like my teeth, then what? I don't care. If you didn't like the fact that I have a big forehead, I don't care. You don't know me. I don't know you. You don't put any coins in my pocket. But for some apparent reason, post Big Brother, I literally second guessed everything about me. Like, as accomplished as I was, I didn't have to pump up on Big Brother that I was this and I was that, and I've done this and I've done that. But I saw a lot of people in the house felt like they needed to do that. And I'm like, no, I don't need to do that. But then post Big Brother, I don't know what happened. I guess that show and being so exposed and everything that comes with it, the good and the bad, kind of broke me down. But I really didn't start to feel it until probably 6 months after being on the show. I was like, why am I like literally second guessing myself, or why am I having this? It was like a mountain of negative talk that kind of clouded my space. And that's not what I was used to. And so what happens is, if you don't deal with the things that happen mentally post show, this is with anybody that's been on that show, then it will literally scar you and deal with you for the rest of your life. Like, you have to go and deal with that aspect of your world. And I'm not sure, I don't talk to Christmas like that to know. I'm not as close with Christmas to know if she's had any kind of like therapy around like what happened on Big Brother, or any kind of counseling associated with coming into fame, right? Like, because that thing can really, really, really like demolish you internally, and you're putting on and you're pumping yourself up like we've seen on the show.
And she doesn't ever stop doing it. And like,
no, she doesn't.
She doesn't stop doing it. And it's a lot of times when it's not warranted. Like, she's pumping herself up when like nobody is believing what you're saying. You're not even believing it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, and it's also, it's like, I want to say thank you so much for going on the show as a Black woman. Honestly, because it's like, we don't see a lot of people who look like us on this television show. You're already coming in as a target for so many reasons because you're a Black woman, and then you're dealing with the repercussions of that. So it's like, that's something I want to acknowledge with you being here. Thank you so much, because it's so important for representation. You showed us so much, and I can tell you that the BB community and myself were just so grateful that you went on the show, and you were 100% yourself, and you showed who you were. And it's just so important. And I don't know if that's something that will ever fully be gotten, will fully be realized, but it's so, so very important. And I just want to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, because it does.
Oh my God.
Seriously.
Thank you. No, thank you. Thank you.
And then you were the only one on your season. I can't imagine how isolated that was, you know, whether it was intentional or inadvertently, but it was very much apparent, at least from the outside looking in. And I remember watching that season, and I was like, damn, like, I want to save her from these people. You're just going in, it's such a hard game already, right? And so you're dealing with the game itself, but then you're also dealing with implicit, you know, bias and racism and things of that sort. And so that's something I definitely wanted to acknowledge, just, you know, to you as a person, and just say thank you so much for going on. It just means a lot. So thank you.
Oh my gosh. No, thank you for sharing. It actually, I mean, because again, I dealt with a lot coming off show that I really did not like advertise or, post on social media. And I mean, like, I say this almost every time I interview. I'm like, I probably should like be 100% transparent about what happened to me post show. But I really do appreciate that. It would have been like awesome. And I got a really good amount of like appreciation and stuff, but I was in such a vulnerable place that it was like not having, and this is a horrible analogy considering what we just talked about 5 minutes ago. It's like getting the wrong prescription or a prescription for pain, and the pain is so freaking intense that the dosage absolutely is not effective. It does nothing to the pain, right? Like, so I use that analogy kind of in this sense where it's like, I got so much, like, again, so much acknowledgement, appreciation, all that stuff. But I was so in this place where I couldn't even figure out that it wasn't as impactful internally, right? Like, I still second guessed, who I was coming off the show. So thank you so much for sharing that. And another thing that's been happening lately, I've been getting like so much love, and I'm like, it's been 3 years, guys.
But it's so well deserved. Like, you deserve that second spot, especially in All Stars, especially in comparison to someone like a Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
You really, you read the house. You knew immediately that Paul was just such a huge target in this game. You vocalized that repeatedly, and you were isolated for that. And it's so unfortunate because it happened for multiple reasons, but
Yeah.
Thank you so much for going on, honestly.
My pleasure.
Seriously. I mean, it's so frustrating that we, I keep saying it and I feel like I'm harping on it, but it's just so frustrating that we had such a well-rounded, such an intelligent and well-spoken person that could have been on. And because we went through preseason and picked like from each season, like who we would want to be on. And you were all of our picks from 19.
Oh, man.
I still have it in our doc. Yeah. You were all of our picks from 19. And then we got Christmas and we were like, this has to be a rumor. Like, there's no way
it's like a joke. It's like
it's a joke.
Christmas.
This isn't a Christmas hate podcast, I swear. It just is right now.
Honestly, I can't stand the girl.
I don't know about that.
And you know what? She needs the therapy because not only like Big Brother and like getting hurt, whatever, and then outside after like getting pregnant and getting arrested for the car.
She probably had ordered therapy at some point, right?
She had. I mean, it didn't work. It didn't work. If she was ordered, it didn't work. I mean, if we were going to have anyone from BB19, yes, Queen of was. Just see.
Yes.
Honestly, I used to watch, like how I used to go into the, like the lounge room, and it was like yellow, I think.
Oh yeah.
Remember you used to talk and like do little.
Oh yeah, I've been talking about
every single one of them. We lost Asha. I used to watch every single. You're like that, like in the well, you weren't there very long, so it's like really sucks when someone that you like is not there very long, and you only have them for like a short period of time. I mean, honestly, you left kind of the perfect time for yourself, because you didn't want the rest of that.
Oh my gosh. Listen, I think about that. I really do. I say, man, God makes zero mistakes, because and this is probably, I hope you guys know, I'm putting it out there and I'm letting you know that I'm saying this from a very modest place. I'm like, please send me home. I don't like being isolated, but the reality is, do you really think I care about going home right now? No. Yeah. I mean, like what I was doing, I resigned from my job and moved to California, and I'm doing like awesome things right now. But at the time, I'm like, do you know what I do? Like, I honestly don't care. Like, send me home, please. I want to go home. And I think about like how it could have been drastically different had I stayed, right? I think about it from this perspective. Okay, well, what would the conversation have been? Could the outcome have been different if Paul had said, "Hey, Dom, let's really chat. Like, yeah, you're right. Like, you read me. I'm the snake. Yes, I'm running this house, but let's work together." I believe that it could have went in a completely different direction, or he could have, because Paul's really good. He could have convinced me, because I mean, in that house, you're ridiculously paranoid, and you don't know if what you see and recognize is truly what you see and recognize, although you really do know what you see and recognize.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like, and so
I think a lot of people deal with that. They go through that, like, I'm seeing this, but I don't believe it situation.
Yeah. And so it could have been where Paul's like, no, Dom, I like, if I had to come clean and said, clean, I don't like that expression, but if I had to just say, yeah, Paul, bro, I'm on to you. I know exactly what's going on. You're running this house and you are planting seeds in each other's, in the right ears in this house, because you know they're going to follow you. Like, I could have had this conversation with him. You'd have been like, you know what, girl, like, wow, you are spot on. Let's work together. Yeah. Or he could have said, no, you're totally off. Like, that's not what's going on here. You are, you know, Dominique, I've been in this house before. You know how paranoid. There's this whole spirit thing going on here. Like, he could have switched it up and I would have been like, wow, like, I think he may be right. And then I would have been considered one of his minions. And so I was like, I'm so happy I went out when I went out, because that's not the reputation that I wanted in the house, right? Like, there's absolutely nothing wrong with being a follower. There's absolutely nothing wrong with being a leader. I am innately, I believe, a leader, but I do understand in order to lead, you have to understand how to follow. And so I was willing to follow until it was time for me to lead. I tried, but people weren't in a position to really hear from me. And I was a bit bitter coming off the show, because I was like, they didn't want to listen to me because of the color of my skin. I'm like, girl, like, let's be real. That could have been a dynamic, but are you really going to decrease the reality of what's truly happening? Right. They didn't want to listen to you because they were way more invested and starstruck with Paul, because he was the voice of reasoning in the house. He was, quote unquote, the experienced, you know, player in the house. So whatever he said and essentially went. And again, because you're so vulnerable, like, you're pretty much naked in the house, you have someone who said they've been here and done that. And so you're going to listen to what they say. So I was like, you know, that could color my skin could have been a thing, right? It could have totally been a thing, but I was like, it has to be way more than that. Has to be way more than that. Yeah.
There's a lot of things. You're smart, you're a woman, and you're Black. That's all the three most dangerous combos to That's literally what it is. Like, and I feel like Devon had a similar situation in her very first season, that she clocked everyone right off the bat. And she, like, that's dangerous to people. Like, oh, you know too much. Like, you're too smart. You're too smart. So it's so unfortunate, because those are the players that we want to see. You know what I mean?
And do you know, like, I'm pretty sure I've exposed this a number of times. So, and I'm no longer on the contract, so I can say this. I didn't know anything about the show. I thought it was a hoax. When they reached out to me, I was like, I'm Big Brother. Okay, whatever. And then literally I didn't respond for 24 hours. And I reached out to my best friend. I was like, bro, let me tell you, I just got this message about, like, a Big Brother or something. I said, have you heard of that? She was like, are you serious right now? I'm like, why are you acting that way? She was like, Big Brother, like CBS Big Brother. I'm like, yeah, I guess. And she's like, you need to respond. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess that's what we're doing. And
that's amazing.
I started doing my research, and I was like, I don't want to be a part of a show that's known for, like, backstabbing, lying, and cheating. And, you know, I'm just not that kind of person. This is not my thing. And ladies, I kid you not, I heard so clearly. I said because y'all know I love me some Jesus. I said, God, you know, that's not my vibe. I don't really deal with that kind of stuff. Like, those are not, I literally said to him, those are not my people. And I'm not talking about skin tone, right? I mean, like, my boyfriend is not Black. So I was like, you know, those are not my kind of people, like, that are willing to play that kind of game. I just don't get involved. And I said, they don't look like me, God. And he was like, but they look like me. I was like, get out of here. Get out of here. And I, at first I didn't understand it, but I was like, okay, that's because God sees us the way that he originally designed and created us, right? Like, he doesn't see all our flaws and all those things, right? And I was like, you know what? I stand corrected. So I guess this is what we're doing. And I went in, and I still didn't have time to do a lot of research on the game. I knew very little about the game. When I say I had a team, my best friend hooked me up with a super fan. He went bananas. He went totally bananas. And I'm sorry.
Who was it? Who was the super fan? Oh, super
Gerald. Oh, yeah, super fan. Yeah, his name is Gerald. He loved the fact that I just gave him a shout out. But
is he on baby Twitter? I want to follow him.
Gerald. I think he may be, but he's really like low key. He put together this entire note, and he was like, I know you don't have time to watch these seasons, but like go and watch this episode. Timestamp this.
Yeah, that's smart.
I was just like, had he not done that, I would have went into the house like totally unarmed, uninformed, like not knowing what's going on. What's the veto? I would have been a David.
Not a David. See, like David tried to use that as a strategy, and I think that's where he fell flat because he was given the same that he was given. Ovi laid it out for him. Ovi wrote a damn book. He did not look at it. He didn't. He was like, "Oh, okay." I still need to know what David did in Sequester. I need to know.
Like, no, Ovi said, because we had Ovi on a few weeks ago, and he said, I gave him a binder with everything, all of my notes, all of the seasons I want him to watch, the episodes, everything. Like, I gave him all of this stuff, and David was like, let's go for a hike.
Really?
He worked out.
He wanted to be physically fit. He didn't care so much about the mental part.
Oh.
He said, I already read books. I already know, like, I'm a smart person. I want to be physically ready for this. And he just ignored all of the strategy part of it. And then,
okay.
Yeah.
No, like obviously being, so I'm from Alabama and I'm very Southern. And so, you know, when there's a person that's really smart, like intellectually, like because they read books and, you know, they can put 1 + 1 together really quickly kind of thing. There's like, you know, that person's book smart. Well, book smart is not going to get you that far in the game. You have to be way more than book smart, right? Like you have to be mentally tough, right? You have to know and understand strategies that work, right? It's a lot of, I'd say Big Brother is more psychology based than intellectually based, right? Like, I mean, you just got to understand people and how they move and maneuver and how they respond to certain things. And, you know, I mean, Paul did a great job. I mean, like, I didn't like how he played my season, but I mean, like, when you talk about like the psychology of a person, he literally just killed it. He killed it.
Yeah. But that's the thing with Paul is that he also did not watch anything. Like he didn't watch any Big Brother. He had no idea. He was blind. So it honestly is like, but he's also very street smart. And I think that's where David is a little bit on the more naive side of the streets.
He's such a sweet soul. Like he just wants to believe that these people truly do have his best interest at heart. And you know, I think Tyler. Oh, that's interesting.
That's a good question.
No. I am not saying
Nicole. Wait,
no.
Was that Nicole's? Was that Nicole? Am I wrong? No.
Yeah. No, 19. That was Josh.
19. That was Josh. Yeah, I mean, like, I would have.
It all melts together.
I would have voted for Josh hands down.
Yeah.
And I had this conversation in the last video interview thing that I did, and he was like, "Well, I'm a huge Paul fan, and I mean, like, Paul played a better game than Josh. I don't care." And like, I mean, I emotionally. If I was in jury, the reality would be Paul does not get my vote. I don't care how great of a game he played.
That's all about jury management. And that's literally all jury management at that point. I mean, I'm also a Paul fan, so I can't really say anything, but
I'm not.
I am. But honestly, going into that final 3, I hated Christmas. I just didn't want Christmas to win. I was like, I'm fine with Josh or I'm fine with Josh or Paul. I don't care who won. Like, I literally how I felt. I was like, I literally do not care. Literally do not care. Like, I want him against Nicole. I hated Nicole, so I wanted Paul to win. So that's
oh my god. This whole Nicole situation, I'm like, wow.
There's a lot.
I had no idea, it's just been an interesting thing to read about because I told you I don't watch, but it's been a very interesting.
Sorry, someone called me a menace.
It was Brittany.
Oh, by the way, like, Paul and I are cool. So yeah. Paul, and I don't like Paul, the BB game player. I love Paul as a person. This guy has an amazing heart. And he has, just a tremendous amount of wisdom at his age. Like, it shocked me because we had a really substance-based conversation about 4 months post-show. And he even explained to me why he waited so long to reach out to me. And I'm like, dude, that's commendable. I say, it feels really good that you truly are like a real person and you've not allowed this show and everything that comes with this show to alter who you are at the core. So yeah, he's awesome. And I told him, I was like, dude, I got your back. I'm going to support you in life in whatever way. So yeah, we're cool.
People want us to ask you about the face mask situation that happened.
So I'll address it from two different postures, right? First posture, in the house. I don't do a lot of talking, and you guys have there's a video going around between me and Christmas. I don't do a lot of talking. Like, if you want to be bad, then jump, right? The same thing with Elena. You want to be bad, then jump. Right. I don't really do a lot of talking. I really don't believe in physical altercation. But if you're going to talk all this madness, then what's up? And so I did not experience any of that in the house. And it was I'm so glad, thank God, I did not know anything about it in the house, because I probably would have completely went bananas. It would have probably haunted me for the rest of my life, the video clippings of that. So I can't really speak on like, well, Dominique, how did you feel in the house? Because I didn't know that any of that was going on. Now, posture outside of the house, completely inappropriate. And this will be an area that I would say this was not wise. It was not a wise decision to do it. Even if there was no ill intent or malice in your heart, you still have to be cognizant of the fact that you are on television. There are 10 million plus people watching you, and they don't know what your intent is. They can't see your heart, right? Like, regardless of what's coming out of your mouth, they don't care. Like, are your actions aligning with what you're saying? And if your actions aren't necessarily aligning with what you're saying, then people are going to doubt who you are. And so from that perspective, completely inappropriate, should not have done it. It's disrespectful to the Black community and to me, right? So no, I was not cool with it. And then what really shocked me was that no one stood up and said, hey, bro, like, you probably shouldn't do that.
Well, like, the people on Twitter did. She's back. Hi, Asha.
Hi. I don't know what's going on with my Wi-Fi. I'm so sad because I wanted to talk to Dominique.
You're here. We
know you. But on that point, like, it's funny. It was like a month or two ago. I literally posted it on my Facebook. I was like, as a white person, like, I have like charcoal face masks and stuff. Mm-hmm. Why can't you just do your skincare and move on? Why do you have to take a picture? Like, because I see it on Snapchat, like, people from like high school and stuff. And like, there's like this girl, I don't even follow her anymore, but like, she would post one every time she did a charcoal face mask. And I'm like, do you take a picture every time you do a face mask, or is it just the black ones?
I never take a photo when I do a face mask.
I don't either, because they look stupid.
Yeah.
It's weird. Why
just do your skincare and move on. It doesn't have to be a thing. Like,
but it's so crazy how in social media, everything has to be a thing. And so as someone who I ladies, and I definitely challenge you to do this if you're not already doing it. I like to unpack the why for any and everything that I do, which is why you don't see me post a lot on social media, because I'm like, I'm posting this for what? right? Like, so, you know, what's the ultimate purpose in me sharing this with the world, right? Because for me, I want to make sure that I'm contributing to humanity in a positive way, right? Like, so if I can post a picture, if I'm posting a picture of my food because, hey guys, I want you to really know about this ridiculously great restaurant in Santa Cruz, I got to tell you about it, right? Like, you can reference that, right? Like, so understanding your why. Now, if you happen to be, you know, into beauty and you're building this whole like infrastructure around beauty and skincare, cool. But you don't need to just like you said, you don't need to post the same picture every time you are doing a black face mask. Like, I would have to ask the question, what's going on there? Like, what's your why?
That's
like,
exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Because it's controversial, right? And people understand, everybody knows, everybody that's watching, all of us know that controversy sells, right? Like, the whole, isn't there an expression along the lines of any news is good news, so bad news is good news, or something like, I forgot how the thing goes, right? Like,
any press is good press. Yeah.
Any press is good press. Yeah. Yeah. And so people are willing to do and say whatever, even if it's controversial, for another 100 likes, you know? And I'm just not sure if it's worth it, depending on where you want to be. Right.
Yeah.
Like, so.
Did you actually talk to Paul about this? Like, did you tell him what you saw after the fact, that you didn't see it in the house, and like how that made you feel? Because I know a lot of people on Twitter, because we were all on Twitter at the time, like, people were very, very upset, and they're like, that's blackface. And then there's a lot of people that were like defending it, and there was just like, oh yeah. And then so our friend BB Team North, his name is James.
No, that's so true. I feel like they like to get sympathy from white women, but white women are not the targets of that joke or of that particular criticism.
Right.
So why are you seeking sympathy from them?
Yep. I've said it once and I'll say it a million times. I don't, my opinion on all of this doesn't matter. Like, this is not about me. I will voice my support for you guys, but that's it. Like, my opinion, I am not the one that you need to be listening to. Like,
yeah. Dominique, I want to know if she said something to him and if he understood, because it clearly looks like he didn't, because, like, listen, I was a Paul, like, I'm a Paul fan, like, but I can understand when someone did something wrong that I like they need to correct themselves, and like, I'm not a blindly follower fan. Like, I will say you did something wrong. You know what I mean? So
I love it.
Yeah. So during this week, BB North, he got into a little tiff with Paul because he basically called him out, and he just like refused. He just like refused to back down. Wait, hold on. There you go.
Oh yeah.
And he just doesn't understand. And he's liking all these comments from these white women, like, defending him.
Yeah, but it's not even that he didn't understand. It's that he didn't try to understand.
Right.
At least for me, I saw that and I was like, I'm not even Dominique. I'm not even in this game. I'm not a black woman in this game. So I can't imagine how you would feel with a situation like this, because I was pissed off. I was like, fuck this guy, obviously. Like, I don't know him, but it was very hurtful to see it, and then he didn't even try to understand the point of view of a black person's perspective. You're right, Amanda. He kept trying to seek opinions from white women.
Right.
I don't know. It was very frustrating to see him.
Yeah. So I was not. I honestly wasn't privy to that. Like, so when we had our conversation, what I say 4 months after the show, like, we talked through it. Like, yeah. So I acknowledged, I was like, bro, like, cause, you know, obviously that wasn't cool. And I wanted to know kind of what was going on in his head. And we talked through that. Now I can't tell you ladies that I remember like the exact conversation, but we did chat about it. And I didn't know like those things were happening on Twitter, because again, you know how it is. They can say one thing when you're talking to them, and then they get on social media and they're saying something completely different. And obviously, had I known that, I would have confronted. I had no idea.
This was just a few weeks ago.
Oh,
on Twitter, it resurfaced. Yeah,
people were.
This argument was just like last week or the week before.
Right.
with James. Yeah.
Okay, so I need to go back. I back.
I mean, you can go in the comments, see respond.
But it's also like, do you want to re-traumatize yourself? Probably not.
Well, it depends on how you deal with the situation. Well, for me, the way that I deal with the situation now versus had it been like, within the last year that I was on the show, then it probably still would have been traumatic. There probably would have still been some level of residue there, but no, like, and I mean, I have aspirations beyond TV that are way more mentally challenging than Big Brother and everything that comes with the fans and their comments and all of that, right? So I want to be in a position where I can have those conversations and, it's not something that's traumatic to me. And if I am experiencing trauma, I'm able to communicate that live in person and we can work through that, right? Like, and I think that's a healthy way to deal with it. I don't want to be the person that backs away from having those tough conversations because it makes me feel a certain way. I actually would prefer to work through those tough conversations and really have a private conversation with myself. Like, well, why did you start feeling that way when they started talking about that? Because I have aspirations that are going to put me in positions where I need to be able to communicate independent of emotions. I have to know when emotions are relevant, right? And when to turn those on and off. And so that's one of the things that, girl, you're all in my space. That's one of the things I'm working on right now.
No, I love that. I think that's so great. I mean, it's something I'm working on too. Instead of getting angry, I am trying to communicate a little bit more. And, I think that's something I can look to you as, and I'm like, okay, hey, Dominique communicates. Something gets you angry about it.
I don't want to misrepresent though. I get angry. And listen, I'm upset right now. I'm upset and you need to give me about 2 seconds. I'll be okay in 2 seconds. I'll be okay enough to have a conversation. Doesn't mean I'm still not going to be angry.
Okay. See, I'm not okay in 2 seconds. I'll be okay in like a year or two, but like 2 seconds, that's good. I mean, I want to get to that place. So I commend you completely.
Yeah, it's tough. And please don't think that I'm totally there. It's different out here in California.
You're a bigger person than me.
Yeah, I will say.
I cannot. I cannot.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, sorry, not to like dredge up a bunch of like stuff from 19. It just this season there's not a lot to talk about, right? Like,
it's fine.
We'll do a quick little recap of where we're at in the season. We're down to, what is this, final 6? Wait. How many freaking people are left?
5, I guess.
5?
Yeah, because Tyler.
Oh yeah, because of the triple. Duh.
Because this is the best final 6 that we have ever had. That's what Chris said.
Yeah, look, I'll admit this to you, ladies. Like I felt a certain way that CBS didn't call me. I mean, I knew they weren't gonna call me, but I did feel a certain way. I was like, really?
Christmas over me, honestly.
We feel it too, and we're not even you. Like,
to be honest, if it was Raven, what was it like living with Raven?
Amanda is a little bit obsessed with Raven.
Wait,
not like as a fan, but like as just like a spectacle.
Oh, okay.
Like she's just intriguing because there's
a human being. What was it like?
There's so much going on.
Yeah. So speaking from 2 different postures, posture in the house, posture post house, posture in the house. Ladies, I was really challenged internally, right? Because I knew I couldn't express what I was truly feeling on the inside. And what I was feeling on the inside, I was like, I was raised not to really talk about folks who have health issues, but this is a bit outrageous. This is a bit outrageous. Like it's the point where it's like, is this for real? Or is this like, I'm doing this to seek attention? Is this a part of my gameplay? Right. Like, so, but I'm like, I didn't feel the freedom. I didn't feel the freedom to express that on national television because I was like, I don't want to get off TV and everybody's attacking me because that was what I was thinking though. And so to see you know, what the fans were saying once I got out of the house. I was like, okay, cool. I wasn't the only one.
Yeah, no, they were like, oh my God, like, are you kidding me? I think everyone was pretty much on your side, and we knew it was the Paul show. So.
No,
it was a lot. Like, it was a lot.
There is a whole entire website dedicated to every single one of her like
ailments,
symptoms, all the things that she said that she was going to die from, like all of her problems. It's fantastic. If you haven't,
oh my gosh. So and then posture post house.
Yeah.
Again, I couldn't prove what was truly happening with her. I know that she got really, really sick. I don't know. I just, based on what I was seeing on social media, she got really sick. So, you know, a lot of the Big Brother 19 community got together and, you know, expressed our love and care for her.
No.
We did.
No,
I mean, because what else do you do, right? Like, I mean,
she wasn't actually sick.
But we don't know. That's the thing, is you don't know that. Like, it's so, because what if she really is? And then you're like, ask about, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, for your own conscience, you have to do it, because what good comes from calling it out?
No, you're great right now. You're so right. It's like, I forgot the quote, but someone was like, you know, you would rather be, you know, sorry for looking like an idiot for believing someone than be sorry for looking like an idiot for not believing someone.
Yeah,
I get that.
To you all.
Yeah, yeah.
But like, she wants your sympathy. I think that's like her.
Yeah, I mean, that's got to be at least part of it, because my thing is, with all of the ailments that she claimed, I can't imagine CBS would have allowed her on.
You know what? I haven't been on the show in 3 years, and I never thought about that. That's so true.
Like,
oh my gosh, it's so true. I never thought about that, because the whole application process and vetting process is extremely meticulous. Like, it is. I didn't even think about that. Like, I'm thinking about all the things that I had to go through. And by the way, it's no secret, I had brain surgery. So I didn't think about that.
Yeah. And that's, so like, that's what my thought was, like, because I'm like, we see, you know, somebody with like one thing or two things, or, you know, whatever, you know, it's a story for CBS to tell, even though like it's somebody's life, like that's a story that they're going to tell, whatever. But that many things, like, if you're really dying, don't you think you should be like seeking medical attention?
She basically said that like her pacemaker can stop her heart, like her pacemaker was on her stomach, not like it was not keeping her body working. Like, she also said that like she can't have children. Like, I don't know if that one's even true, but when she pops out a kid, I'm sure we'll nix that one.
She's a yacht girl now.
She said that she was supposed to had gray hair within 3 years. That's what she said. And it's 3 years now, and I don't see gray hair on her head. That's all I gotta say.
Receipt.
Did she just want to be like Matt? She just wanted to be like Matt.
She wanted to be like Matt. That's awkward. Yeah. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. In the beginning, I pegged Dominique and Matt together.
Really? You know.
Why would you do that?
You say hello.
He was hot. Okay.
Why would you do that? That's so rude.
So attractive. I can't.
Say hi. Say hi.
No.
Oh my God! Look at the dog.
They're the most attractive people in the house. I'm gonna put them together.
You see the ladies? You want to say hey to the ladies? You want to say hey to the ladies?
He's so handsome.
Yeah,
I love it.
So I have to agree with you. Just learning the little bit that I know. Well, I won't say. It's more speculation. I can't confirm nor deny what CBS was doing when they casted the both of us. But post show, I was like, I bet you they casted Matt for me.
See?
Or me for Matt. I did not. I
told you.
I honestly was thinking that, because I was like, just thinking about like when we'd have conversations about what he liked, And I was like, wow. And then his friends, I was like, yeah, yeah. But CBS got it wrong.
They
do you like cereal too, or?
I love cereal, but not.
Do you like it as much as he does?
No.
That's all he did, unfortunately. But like, yeah, I don't think Raven and Matt were ever like in their mind thought, like they do that all the time. They'll put two people in, they're like, oh, this is gonna be a good couple. Like this is here. They do it all the time. There's I feel like there was another
Wasn't it like Shelly and Clay, weren't they?
Oh, they were totally.
That was a weird pairing.
It was a weird pairing, but like
I think
they both were all about it.
I think he was supposed to be for somebody else too.
I don't know. I that's just fresh in my mind because I was clipping that clip of Dominique earlier when they were talking about, and Matt, or what the fuck's his name? Mark, was trying to figure out what Clay's name was. He was talking about him earlier in that clip, but
oh my, that's so funny.
Yeah. But no, I don't know. There's not a lot to go on here. We don't know who won HOH yet.
I'm sure it's Memphis.
I know. I tweeted that earlier. I'm like, I'm sure it's going to be Memphis or.
I hate everything about it.
I think Cody's going to win.
He can't play.
No.
Oh, this season. Yeah.
Honestly, probably.
Well, I can see that, honestly.
People kept asking me like who I like. This is the first time I'm team Christmas.
Because she's going to mess up stuff in the house. She's going to mess up Cody's plans.
Shingo! I hate you guys.
I would like her to go home this week, though, is my problem.
Honestly, I'm not rooting for anybody. I'm rooting, honestly. I want Enzo to win, like, out of everyone. I feel like, honestly, he's been pissing me off all season long anyway with all his freaking, the way he votes. Really pissed me off. I want Cody to go. I want them to be, like, honestly, as I was watching the show today, because I haven't really watched many things, but the stupidest move they made was getting out Tyler over Christmas, because now Christmas and Memphis are going to come after Cody. Like, it's very obvious.
Yep.
Very obvious. And like, I'm like, Cody, are you even listening to like anyone else is saying to you? Like, especially with that conversation with Enzo, like, Memphis is lying to you. You know he's lying to you.
You know he is. He literally said that. He was like, yeah, Memphis is lying. Or he literally acknowledged that he knows it. I know. It's so dumb.
I'm like, do you even want to win this game? Like, I mean, like,
I hope he loses in the final two again.
He better lose. I'm just like watching it, and I'm like, Cody, if you were like literally, and they will vote out whoever you tell them to vote out. You say Christmas, they'll vote out Christmas. You tell them.
I don't know why they didn't do that.
So like,
it doesn't make sense.
They made no
anybody.
Sense. Literally made no sense by voting out Tyler, because Christmas is Memphis's number one. Like, there's no, you are not Memphis's number one. Christmas is Memphis's number one, because he knows that she can.
I'm curious. I'm curious because you guys watch the show. What's this whole thing between Memphis and Christmas?
It's disgusting. It's literally the KKK up in there. Like, it's disgusting.
He supposedly has a girlfriend.
Yeah, and her name is Dominique.
And her name is Dominique.
Dominique. He always shouts.
Oh, did you see the thing where Christmas called Davon Dominique?
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
That was.
People were trying to.
We're still living in her mind.
Yeah, and people were trying to convince us that she was talking about his girlfriend Dominique, and I was like, okay, so what does that have to do with the votes? Because
Dominique's not in the house.
that girl's not in the house. She has nothing to do with the show.
Yeah.
But Davon's the other black woman, so obviously they're talking about her. Come on now.
It's so stupid. But no, Memphis and Christmas. So really early on, Memphis was talking about wanting a showmance, but he has a girlfriend, so that's really confusing.
Really?
Yeah, he was talking about wanting a showmance. Enzo was too. Enzo talked about how they. No, Enzo's was gross though, because Enzo was talking about how they took away his shot with Nicole Anthony, who is like half his age.
No, stop it. Stop it. If anything, I thought he had a crush on Bailey. Everyone has a crush on Bailey. So.
He definitely has a crush on Bailey.
Yeah.
Oh God, she's incredible.
Taylor had a crush on Bailey before he got with Angela on his season.
Yeah.
Everybody had a crush on Bailey on their season.
Yeah.
Casey, Tyler.
Yeah, literally everyone had a crush on Bailey. I mean,
as I should.
Bailey.
Yes, I love her. Such a sweetheart. Oh my God.
She's so, I mean, I loved that she was on this season, and I just love her.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I have not got to meet her, but I met you and I met Takia at the premiere party. Like, oh my God, that feels like 2 years ago already.
Forever ago. Yeah, I don't remember seeing that picture. I saved it. I literally just saved it. Yeah.
I look hideous.
I forgot you sent us that.
Okay,
she was like, wait.
It's so funny. So like, I remember someone was talking about like how beautiful you are. And I was like, yeah, guys, I had a picture with her and Zakiya, the most two beautiful women in the whole entire fucking world. And the next one looked like a hot, sweaty mess. And I was like, how did you recover? I was like, it took weeks. It took weeks to recover. Like, I mean, I'm disgusting.
Oh my gosh. No.
That's so funny. I get it though. I mean, but I know there was like a bunch of
more beautiful in person, like more beautiful person. I can't.
Oh my God. Because like in the preseason, there was a bunch of like who was the most attractive house guest ever, blah blah blah, and like Zakiya was on like everybody's list.
I mean,
yeah.
Like,
she is gorgeous. Like that's my birthday twin. We talk like almost every week.
Oh, her baby is so cute. Can you tell me to unblock me on Twitter?
I was waiting for it.
So this is
it wasn't like beef. It was because Amanda didn't like the way that Pauly treated her in the house, and so all of the stans gave her a list of accounts to block. Oh. And so it was that thing. It wasn't. I follow her on
Instagram though, so I see all her cute pics. But yes, I did not.
I will tell her to unblock you. I will.
No,
she's talked about this like every episode.
I loved her from like the very first moment I saw her. I was like, I'm in love with her. That's another person. I did not think that Pauly and Zakiya were meant to be put together.
I think that was shocking. I didn't watch the show. I mean, I learned about all of this after.
Yeah, I don't think that they were meant to be put together. I think she was meant for somebody else, but I don't remember.
I think Pauly thinks he's meant for his brother.
Well, yes, whatever. But and then the way that, just like the whole way that their whole relationship went, like I was in an abusive relationship before. I see all the signs. Like it was just so upsetting, and like I did not like the way he treated her, and it just made me like so heartbroken. Like I did not want her to be with this guy. Like it was just so annoying, and I expressed my opinions about it.
She did.
And I got into a lot of fights with a lot of their stans. Oh,
Stan Twitter is toxic. Okay, so I want to show
my job to get me fired.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying that. I want to see this question from James. Because we have to wrap it up here soon. But I want to hear your thoughts on this.
Based on my experience, would I encourage others to apply? Absolutely. I used to say this thing a while ago in a lot of my interviews when I would get this question, and my response is absolutely. And the reason why is because I consider it a fast track to growth as a person. And if the things that you either know about yourself or don't know about yourself will be uncovered, unveiled in the house or post the house, right? Like, so if you are the kind of person that values growth, personal growth, and in some cases, even professional growth, right? Because for some people, it's been very lucrative to be on Big Brother. Mm-hmm. Then I say go for it. It is, I would say, I won't say a once in a lifetime because obviously we have all stars, but it is a phenomenal opportunity. You get a chance to meet all kinds of folks and you get introduced to an experience, because what I love about them is they usually take like, your average Joes or those people that don't have a large following, right? Like, so from a social media standpoint, very few people know them. And so you get exposed to an entire process, because it is a process to make it, right? To actually walk into that house. And so you get exposure to all of that, and that prepares you. Let's just say you're one of those persons that, desires to act, or you want to, generate your own show, producer, like you get access to all of that and exposure to all of that. So you're now one of those persons that now, if MTV wanted you to do something, you've kind of already been vetted and you understand the process. They don't have to teach you that. You're comfortable being in front of a camera. You know how to communicate, like all of those things, right? And so for me, I think it's, again, valuable and invaluable has been the word tonight. I think it is the experience that you get and all of that, both on the show and then outside of the show, is invaluable. So yeah, go for it. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, yellow, orange, boy, girl, dog, whatever. None of that matters. If you're given the opportunity, say yes and take advantage of it, because I don't believe in happenstance. I believe that every single thing happens for a reason. And if you were not tough enough to deal with those really tough situations, i.e. me going in the house and being isolated, then I would not have been chosen for the job.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Awesome.
That's a perfect answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Asha was very upset that
I know, she's so sad. She's having such a problem.
Like, I love Dominique. Tell her I love her.
I love her too. Yes. Yes. So ladies, please inbox me. I am really contemplating doing. So one of the things that I am not so committed in, I don't do very well with consistency around this whole social media thing. And sometimes I love it, most times I hate it, right? But I was like, I really should really do this YouTube thing and stick to it. But honestly, I don't even know what to talk about, what to do, what to say. I don't know. I mean, like, and so I don't want to spend, because I am definitely a perfectionist. So I don't want to, put in all of this time, all of this labor creating great videos, and it's content that people are not interested in. So ladies, if you think of anything that you like to hear from me and from my perspective, please inbox me with ideas. And for all the listeners out there and those who are going to be re-watching this video, let me know. Zakia and I were just talking about this, and you see, she put out her video. We were literally just talking about, bro, we got to get our YouTubes back up. And I'm like, girl, I don't even know what I'm talking about. And she was like, I'm just going to. I'm like, I love that you did that.
She is such a busy person.
Yes.
She has a cute little Harlem. She is so freaking cute. I just want to pinch those cheeks. She has like a bakery thing that she like. They look so good. Like, I want to.
Yeah, Zakia and I are working on something. I won't reveal because I want to make sure it's going to come to fruition. Because we're both busy and we've been trying to figure out like how to make it work. But if it does, and you guys will hear about it, we just don't know kind of how we're gonna make it happen just yet. But yeah.
That's amazing. No, literally, I was thinking that earlier, like at the very beginning when you were talking about your experience and stuff, and I'm like, you're one of those people I could literally listen to talk for hours about whatever, anything. It's fine. And I thought it when I was clipping earlier too. I was pulling clips from like Dominique highlights from YouTube. I was pulling clips and I was like, gosh, I just love hearing her talk. Like, I love her mind. So just anything. So that would be really exciting to see. And I would love to see something from you and Zakia because we love her too.
Oh man, yes. I will let her know that.
Honestly, inspirational videos. Like, you're so inspiring and you have such a good outlook in life. And I aspire to be more like you because I'm such a pessimistic and you're so optimistic, and like I feel like just inspirational videos and like how people should maybe like a life coach.
Yes. So believe it or not, I've actually been thinking about that. And the reason why is because, number one, I don't have a lot of time. Like, I love my new job out here in California is thebomb.com. And I'm like, people still call me. Like, my friends have their friends and their friends call me about, oh my gosh, I'm thinking about doing this thing. Like, what do you think? I'm like, well, let's talk about if we should allocate all of this energy for you to do something that really 100 other people out there are doing. I'm not saying that to discourage you, but the reality is what's going to differentiate you from everybody else that's out there, right? So I have all these strategy conversations and I'm like, I need to turn this into a business because I don't have time, right? And I think people will value my time if they had to pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I thought about that. And because ladies, I like to talk and I don't get a chance to do this often. I've been cooped up in this house. Thank God for my awesome boyfriend, but it's just like, oh, I want to share this. I mean, because it's almost like you guys are my sisters at this point. I was telling my little cousin today, I mean, she's not little and she's like literally crushing it. I was telling her, I was like, social media is great and all, but we should really think about like how we're going to make it work for us. And so that same thing with you ladies, it's like, you guys are doing something great. And I love the fact that you are doing this. But I encourage you to think period. I encourage you to, really consider, and I'm not sure if you guys are doing this for fun. I would assume that it's about doing it for fun, right?
Yeah.
But I would challenge you to really think on the back end, and it doesn't have to be something that is very obvious, right? Like to your viewers and the people that you invite to have these conversations with. But where does it go from here? Number one, and then number two, how does it add to your bottom line? That's what I was telling my cousin today. I was like, that Louis bag, awesome sauce. I can go and buy 8 of them if I wanted to, but how does that add to my bottom number? Right. So it's the same kind of content, right? Like, so how does it add to your overall goal, your where you want to be, right? Like, cause I'm pretty sure you want growth and you want your users to be able to take a lot of.
Oh no.
Did we just lose?
No, I really want to hear this.
I know, like, stop it.
There we go. Okay, you're back. Okay. You froze for a second.
You froze.
You froze for a second. No, we want to hear this. No.
Oh my gosh. No, I'm sorry.
But
okay,
yeah, no, it's literally just a second.
We can literally talk about this offline. Like, seriously, reach out to me. I will share my info because I love y'all's personality. This has been so freaking awesome. And I am seriously willing to help you guys figure out, like, how does this look, right? Because I love the name. I love that, you have various, your personalities are very different, but they're complementary, right? They complement each other, right? So you have Amanda, right?
Yes.
You have Amanda that's real and raw, right? And I love it. And Andrea, right?
Yeah, Andrea.
Andrea, that's like, well, I mean, like, I can be real and raw, but let's look at it from a different perspective, right? Like, let's put ourselves in the other person's shoes, right? So not necessarily devil's advocate, but you can play both sides, right? Just to give a well-rounded perspective. And then is it Aisha, right?
Asha.
Yeah. You have Asha that's like, girl, you're killing it, right? Like, so Asha's like the optimist. She's gonna add some positivity to it, right? Or she's gonna literally like heighten the positivity that you guys have already shared, right? Like, so I mean, like, you guys can do so much, right? Like, so not just with Big Brother, it can be like Survivor, it can be Big Brother Canada, it can be like, it can expand and be like reality TV where it's a nice blend of really good personalities and people be like, oh, let me see what these girls got to say.
Yeah. Right? And that's why we started it. Cause we've got, and like, literally I say this every time because I feel like somebody somewhere is going to take this out of context and be like, they're coming for Rob Has a Podcast. And that is not it. I was watching them, and every once in a while there's a woman, and they've got, a couple women in their rotation and stuff, but like, it's a lot of the same perspective over and over. And when that narrative starts to change, they change the subject.
Yeah.
And so that's why we started it. Cause there's not a lot of women out there just like talking about it. So, no, I'm like, literally I had to hold back tears there because you seriously are like giving me everything right now. And, that is what we want to do is we want to go on to other shows, especially because Big Brother has been such a train wreck this season.
Oh yeah.
So it's been a really difficult first, because we're brand new. We started at the beginning of the season. And this was the first thing that we got to cover. So it's been a little bit difficult just to kind of stay like focused and interested. But I think that's your YouTube channel right there, is talking to creators and people and, working them through how they can figure out how to progress, I guess. I don't know. But we are definitely going to reach out to you because I want to hear everything you have to say.
No, I would love to. And I actually love it. I love strategizing. And that's actually one of my, oh my gosh, I'm sweating. That's like one aspect of like my job here in California. Right. So I absolutely love it. And it flows like, you know, God comes in there and God's like, hey, what about this? Tell them do this, consider this, right? Like, so I absolutely love it. And I do believe that this thing can be as big as you guys desire it to be. It just depends on where you want to go and, you know, what you want to cover. And again, I have to emphasize this. I feel like I'm supposed to. You have a great blend of personalities that gives, I would say, a wholesome perspective on a topic, on a season, on an episode. Like, you guys have it. And I felt coming in like I was sitting in y'all's living room sipping on some Prosecco or something, you know, like, and we were all in pajamas, just like chilling out. And I absolutely, it was a great blend. So
that's the goal. We want like a
literally
wine night. Let's hang out. This isn't like a hard and strict interview type of thing. Like that's the vibe, you know. So I'm so happy that you got like, yeah, it was amazing. Yeah. But okay, well, one thing, I mean, we have been thinking a little bit about how it affects the bottom line. It hasn't taken off a whole lot yet, but on our Twitch channel, you guys can subscribe. That is super helpful to us to help support the stream. And if you go into our About section and you go to Garden Level Candles on Etsy, super small business, you can get 15% off with code All Girls Alliance. And you can get all of your candles. They're hand poured. He'll do custom scents, anything that you want. So super helpful there. And thank you so much to Dominique. I'll take us off the air here and then we can chat a little bit. But thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you so much. You're amazing. Oh.